Okay, Archangel Zedkiel here, or Clip. Call me Clip, that's cool. Alrighty, so I just went through your personal purpose and your purpose to the world, and how you get that. Now, how does this pertain to the actual game? Because again, we're playing a game, so that's why we're here. Now, in terms of a game, because there's always something awesome that comes out with a game, right? You know, you're trying to win something, and although it's nice to find that inner stuff, like, yeah, let's play it, let's have fun, because let's face it, sometimes when you're going in to do inner work, it can be more hard than it can be fun, and we gotta have fun. It's a game. We gotta remember that. So, what are what's your goals in this game? Okay, well, one of the main goals is to firstly collect your game piece or wake up. And when you collect your game piece, it's when you collect your body, when you conquer your ego, when you understand that you're in a game, when you say, hey, what's my name? And you collect your game piece. So collect your game piece, which is learn your real name. Okay, so the best way I can explain this is, if you've ever seen the Matrix movies, if you haven't seen them, I really recommend watching them, because they do actually explain a lot of things about it's the way the Matrix, or our universe, has kind of given you a hint to the fact that you are in a game. Now there's a couple of scenes in there, but when you learn your name, it's kind of like how when Neo in the Matrix, I forget, you'll have to forgive me, I forget actually which movie it was. I believe it was it was either in the first or second one. But it was when Neo got shot and everything, and he almost died, and you know, when he's just like, no, stop, and everything like that, and the bullets stop and everything. But there was a point in there when Agent Smith said, Mr. Anderson, and then Neo said, well, as he got up, he's like, my name is Neo. And that's what it is. When you learn your name, you learn who you are, and you can collect your game piece. Just the same way when Neo accepted, I'm freaking Neo. That's when he's just like, stop all the bullets. Because he recognized, he took back his power and understood his position in the world. Now, it is still a theatrical movie. He went by the name Neo as his hacker name in the movie, and so they just called him Neo when he was out. But that's not quite right. We are born with our names. Father gave our source consciousness, collective consciousness. Our Father gave me my name Kulipup, and gave my twin soul the name Lipup. And that's who we were when we were born into this world, and that's who we are going to be when we leave this world. However, we just needed to remember what that name was and figure it out and find it. And we did. So we collected our game piece. The second thing you need to do, or what your goal is to gain the crown. There is a reason why it is called your crown. Not only is it because where the crown sits, because you are actually looking to find an actual crown. Now, if you're a really good clairvoyant, or maybe if you're able to see auras and so forth, you may actually see my crown, because I am wearing it. It is an invisible force of energy, but it is there. And animals and things that can sense energy can see my crown, and I know they do because they're always looking at the top of my head. If I'm walking in nature or so forth, flies, I know this sounds really gross, but it's not. You will see a fly swirling around, and it is because they are attracted to the energy of my crown, and also Red Zeal's crown as well. It is a physical thing that you are looking to gain. Now, when you gain the crown, and it is called the crown of glory. And it's so funny, when I was first waking up and I first developed or found out that I was claircognizant, when I was writing, one of the passages was, or for one, just to let you know, before I woke up, I was a diehard atheist. Very, very into my science, my quantum physics. Not really spiritual at all. I thought everything was just like, no, you live, you die, and you're done, and you go back to dirt. So, of course, you can understand that when I went through this process, and then my spirit, my heart was speaking to me through writing, because that's what we do when we're cognizant, we write. And trust me, I came out with all the things, basically what I'm doing, as in, you will bring all of mankind to its knees in praise, praising themselves as well, and praising the beauty of the world and of what we have created. I was just like, what the shit is going on? Like, this is not me writing this. So it was really, really, that was something. And one of the passages, because when I started to be like, when I realized that it wasn't my conscious mind or body at the time that was speaking back to me, that this really was something else, because I wasn't like trying to write these things, because again, atheist, I was like, what the shit, biblical stuff, this is crazy. One of the passages I said, because I asked that, I'm like, if this is really real, because again, trust issues, I'm like, if this is really real, what do I want right now? And one of the things that came back was, you want the crown of glory. And I did not understand what the hell that meant until I actually achieved it and I won the crown of glory. Now, what the crown of glory is, it is your crown, your sign to say that you are divine, that you know who you want. And it is your signal to the universe, your energy source. It is the greatest attraction of mana, of manifestation, of power and ability that you have. So your goal is to get this crown, because it's pretty sick. With your crown, you are able then to manipulate energy, your energy, so very easy, and discover so very many things by simply just putting your will behind it and making a wish. Alright, so that is what you need to do. Now, I also want to just touch on this as well, because we are explaining it in the form of a game. And I'll use another movie reference. So you know the new movie Jumanji that just came out with The Rock and Jack Black and yeah, all those things. Yeah, I took my kids to see it. I wasn't expecting very much, but I took them to see it. And if you haven't seen it yet, yeah, it's a little cheesy, but it actually kind of can give you an idea of what it's like to be in the game. Because again, this game that we are all playing constantly gives us hints, because that's part of what it needs to do in order to, that's part of the rules. It can't keep things from us. It needs to let us know. And that's one of those movies that tell you like, hey, this is actually real. This is what you're in. So, for example, I forget what the main character's name was. Because again, I wasn't paying that much attention to it. But if you think, it's about these 4 kids who find, or this one kid who finds the Jumanji game board. But the thing is, it was in the 90s, so of course, kids in the 90s weren't playing game boards. It was all about Nintendo or Sega or something like that. It was all about the computer games. So Jumanji, the actual game, was just like, oh shit, well nobody's gonna play me then, and I need people to play me. So it turned itself into a game console. So that when one of the characters, when these 4 kids, 30 years in the future or whatever, in 2000 and now, or 40 years, they find the game console and they plug it in and they get sucked into the game of Jumanji. Now these 4 kids, I think it's 2 girls and two guys, they're just high school students. But before they went into the game, they selected their characters. One selected to be Dr. whatever, the other one was the kung fu fighting chick, and the other one was like the hot girl that turned into Jack Black and was just like, oh my god, I'm a man. This is crazy. That's pretty much exactly what happened. When we were in Source, we created this game and now we select our game characters that we want to play before we incarnate. It's really, really cool. However, unlike Jumanji, when they went into the game, they woke up, they knew who they were. They were like, oh crap, look at my body, this is amazing. Jason, is that you? Or whatever his name was, the main character's name was. And they knew who they were, although they were in these different bodies. And that's what we are doing. And just as they had a goal, which was to get the Panther's Eye stone or whatever back into its forehead. Your goal is to get the crown. That's your tiger stone in the forehead. And that's what's going to win you the game. That is your overall goal. So I just thought, if all of this was still seeming a little confusing, definitely go check that out. Alrighty, so that was that one.